Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Friday the 10th of February. So, I'll cut it short for you. There's not a lot out there this morning. Quick summary before we get going. However, let's have a look what might shape up. Right, firstly, looking at the news, we just had the data for the UK there, GDP coming in for the month on month. It was less than expected. It was better last time, I seem to remember. Let's just have a click on there. It came out better than expected the last couple of attempts. However, on the quarterly basis, it's still flat. No great change there, and that's what was expected. You've got economic forecast due out today. They're normally about 10 o'clock if I remember, but they've got no actual time. They're saying tentative on here. We'll see what happens. Canadian non-farms, basically, or employment reports coming in there at 1:30. Obviously, watch out for the CAD on that time. And we've got then the consumer sentiment, US consumer sentiment at 3 o'clock. That might cause a blip in the current situation. I'm just now looking to see if there's any speakers. It's very little this morning in terms of speakers. It's 2 o'clock. We've got the Bank of England and ECB speakers all at around about 2 o'clock this afternoon. So let's have a look at the market, see what we can find here. As I say, it's very thin on the ground. This is the daily of the euro dollar. It's still consolidating. I say still consolidating. It is still consolidating. It's got quite messy. It blipped up yesterday, only to roll back through. It's not really trying to show its hand, and it's got a blip up there at the moment. Whether this is going to roll back again, and we'll see. But need to check this post 8 o'clock. But nothing that I'm just looking at thinking, oh, there's a trade. The pound dollar just come off. The pound dollar on the dailies again slightly more positive it's been with putting higher lows in and pushing through. It's starting to build that up again on the 4 hourlies here. You look at the dailies here, maybe back above the daily pivot. It may be positive and an opportunity to run it. The trend has been there. It's come off through the yesterday afternoon and through the Asian session a bit there. But even with those poor numbers, it's still pushing to the upside. So I'll look at this post 8 o'clock above the daily pivot and see if we can run it back towards those prior highs in the R2. Okay, so there's the potential. It's more than I saw a moment ago. US dollar yen, bit disappointed with this because I did take a short on it yesterday and then got stopped, and it's now coming back to would have put me back into profit, maybe in a bit tight with a stop, but I thought it was about right at the time. But looking at it now, one single bar all the way down. It's taken all that time to get up there. One single bar, bit of strength coming through here on the yen. I still think this has got a chance to roll over. There's the possibility. It's been sitting on its monthly pivot though here. It needs to break now below that area to be more comfortable short. But there we are. Let's wait for that. Aussie US dollar. So again, we've got this sort of bear flaggy sort of pattern that's formed there. It's broken out through into this morning. Again, it's turning the direction at the moment. It's a bit euro-ish looking. Here, I mean, there was the trend line. It's worth looking to see if it reacts to the underside of its trend line and the daily pivot there. If it starts pulling away, well, perhaps we've got a short on our hands. Although, well, yeah, we've got a short in our hands, full stop, possibly. US dollar CAD, well, it's a mess. And it got really choppy. I'm not going even any further down. It's just wasting time effectively. Look at a couple of cross pairs. Well, the euro yen this morning has gone, has broken down these prior lows. It's taken a goodly time. When was that? That was Tuesday. It made that original low. So it's taken a couple of days here, and now suddenly broken down here. Whether we see a continuation in this move is another matter, though. I'm not sort of looking at it thinking, yep, here's a sell, but let's have a look on here. No, I'm not looking at all like that. So not a great deal. Say some of the best opportunities may be that pound, and if the Aussie comes back to the underside in a there we go, comes to the underside here and reacts here and starts moving off, perhaps we got something there. Right, okay, let's just switch markets here and look at the different markets. So let's have a look at gold first. Let's just come back up the time frames. You see, it's the same old pattern that we're seeing across a lot of these markets. It's just duplicated. We've had the breakdown from the sort of trend there yesterday. It came off quite cleanly. It's not far off its pivot. Again, we might just see this sort of move up to here and roll over, so it's something else to watch for. Don't particularly want to go long on it at the moment. It's in the wrong place on this time frame in particularly, but it needs to get back up here for me to be thinking more long. I know some people want to catch the knife and buy it while it's down. I'm going to catch this bottom. How much do I see people lose money on those events? Okay, crude. Well, crude steadied up yesterday, slowed up a little bit here, and it's doing a short-term non-mover. It was a bit like looking at things yesterday morning when I was looking at it. I've got to look at this afternoon and see if there's anything. But for now, this is Western Texas oil, so need to really wait for the afternoon on that. Okay, just look at CSI 300. Let's look at this on a daily basis. I'm not interested in the shorter time frame, so thank you very much. That's the Nikkei you've given me. There we go. We'll get there eventually. There we are. So it's not really doing too much. We haven't seen a continuation. I was looking at it yesterday thinking, well, we might get a continuation. Haven't got it. Looking for a continuation on this, but it's very similar to the currencies. I think it isn't. Miko yesterday said same old, and it is the same old at the moment. Every day it's like Groundhog Day looking at some of these markets. The Nikkei not really going anywhere, stuck there. The Nifty 50 is consolidating still in this sort of movement. The more it holds up here, maybe it's got a push, and it will start pushing up again. The S&Ps, well, here's the daily, continues to trickle down. Not major moves overall, but they're there. And it's put lower highs in here in the short term here. It looks a bit sort of soft, and we could see it roll over, but it may just be a correction and a bigger shove there. Dow Jones, let's come back to the dailies there, but you can just see it's just continues to be consolidated. Nothing there from a sort of a bigger picture. Of course, I'm sure people are short time trading these. Lower highs come through here on the Nasdaq. It's quite easy to see there. Just bring it down a time frame. There you go. You see the lower highs as well. So again, they're looking a bit on the iffy side at the moment. The US markets, the DAX. Well, the DAX, it's come off from yesterday. It came, look at that, right into its monthly R1, and what was there? Also the weekly R1. Double whammy there. Look, it's just literally ran into it and rolled back. So looking soft there, and well, looking on the softer side of things. But when you come back up this time, don't get too carried away thinking, well, there's a top in. We're not trying to catch tops and bottoms, we're trying to catch trends. Right, FTSE. Someone asked yesterday, why is the FTSE still rising when everything's looking so dire and the outlook for the UK is poor, etc. Well, because it's the constituents of the FTSE where they make their money. You've got energy companies taking a big role in there. You've got quarrying companies, Antofagasta, or Auntie's Fag and Pasta, as I prefer to call it. But you just need to look at the stocks that are in there, and you'll understand why it's pushed up beyond anything else, and it's where they're making their money and how they're making their money. So anyway, I wouldn't want to be trading against it. Maybe opportunities. Looking at this 4 hourly, there might be some opportunities coming in. Again, actually, this is a bit like I'd be a buyer on. It's like the pound, really. I'd be a buyer on the break, above a close above this daily pivot. But otherwise, you could be looking at it a bit like the Aussie dollar, where you've got the trend line up here, and whether it will break down again. But I'd rather just look at the long side if anything sets up there. Okay, that's pretty much it for me. I will just have a quick zip into looking at the world of crypto. Quick look at the usual suspects then. Bitcoin has been coming off them. There we go, Bitcoin, big day off yesterday, quite a bit softer, maybe heading towards its monthly pivot. It's having a little blip up again at the moment, but it is just looking that bit softer. Well, we've got the weekend to deal with now. There at the moment, it might just, with this bigger sort of curve and this bigger sell-off, might just frighten a few people out, but it is into its 34 here. Let's see what it can do today. Litecoin's been having a better time of things, but even that's confirmed a lower high yesterday and looking a little bit soft, but again, we could be bouncing from the 34. Finally, Ethereum, again, lower high confirmed into that move yesterday. A little bounce catching at the moment. So that's pretty much it. I wish you a great day's trading, a great weekend. It is okay to sit on your hands and not be trading. Staying in cash is a position effectively. Anyway, have a great one. Catch you on Monday. Bye for now.